What is going on, my fellow comrades, patriots, compadres, whatever you want to call yourself? Should we have a name? And I'm not big enough to have a name for people that watch my stream. I gotta get like 100 concurrents before that. But yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, I've been missing in action the last couple of days. Fucking tooth was killing me. Feeling a little bit better now though. So what's up, Paul? See you in the chat already. Good to see you, my guys. Sound good? Everything sound good? Thumbs up. All that jazz. Let's see. Happy day after impeachment. I'm sure you guys, at least some of you guys, watched the impeachment shit that was going on the other day. What's up, Shannon? Why is your... Oh, there it is. Okay. Sounds good? Okay. Alright, I'm actually gonna make the chat a little bit smaller. A little too big. I noticed, like, it interferes in the fucking videos. Yeah, I think I got the sound pretty much figured out at this point. Like, I spent, like, 10 hours one day going through all these filters and testing all these different filters and, like, running back and forth between rooms, and it was a pain in the ass. But yeah, let me switch up the chat a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. Bam. Anybody on TikTok? The YouTube and Twitch links are in the bio if you want to come over this way. But yeah, I think, oh shit, wrong button. Let's go ahead and let's get it cracking. First, we gotta watch this video. But did you guys what was it today? Did you guys see this story just real quick? Trump has told staff not to pay Rudy Giuliani. Can't talk. Trump has told staff not to pay Rudy Giuliani over irritation at being impeached again. Like, that's just a slow clapper right there. Like, what a headline. I don't know. I mean, there's not really much to the story. Basically, some aides told him, I guess, that yeah, not to pay him, and he's been ducking his phone calls, just like the shady business guy that he is. So that's where the Rudy Trump situation is at, which, imagine that. I don't know how anybody can work with Trump at this point and not know that he's gonna throw him under the bus eventually. Even the most diehards. I mean, you take a guy like Steve Bannon, who was ride or die. The minute he could or had to or it was convenient, threw him under the bus. Bill Barr threw him under the bus. I mean, like, these complete ride or die people, he throws them away immediately, and people still jump on board like, oh, hey, yeah, he's not gonna fuck me over. Like, how? I don't know. Is, like, the little bit of fame for a little while worth it? I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if Rudy, yeah, I could see Rudy representing himself against Trump in court. Like, that would, they need, like, Judge Mathis if that ever happens. That would be the perfect TV kangaroo court fucking situation. Up here. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. So anyway, but which one was I on? So we got some interesting shit I wanted to look at that I saw today when I was scrolling through the news. I don't know if you guys saw the last TikTok I just put up. That was a pretty interesting one. But this guy, he's super pilled. This was on Rose City Antifa's page. I actually saw this when I was watching the QAnon Anonymous podcast, but I figured I'd show it to you guys. This guy he's all the way pilled. Talking about extremist violence, basically.
So, With that, it's time to address the elephant in the room. QAnon. Yes, it is real. I have been working with them. So yes, it is real.
You like the long stare into the camera? Yeah, you know what? He's probably been working with like some guy he met online that says he's involved in QAnon, and he's probably sent him like $3,000 in cash. And he thinks he's like QAnon affiliated or something. I've been working close hand in hand with a secret government operation from my tool shed here out in the yard because Carol does not like me getting too close to the house with the power saw while she's watching her programs.
If you go onto the website, QMAP, that right there is proof.
They cut out that part where it said the name of it.
So my next message to the...
He basically said that the QMAP was proof of QAnon, which that's just proof that people in QAnon are very creative.
Deep state, the communists, the Marxists, where the fuck you are. We're going to begin hunting you tonight. Hunting you. Because we hunt at night.
That video is actually from July. I don't know if you can see it down there, but just goes to show that these people have been planning and scheming and scamming for a while on what they were going to do. This, I don't know. This was the world's worst kept secret for a intelligence operation. I shouldn't know this much about it. Yeah, from my tool shed, exactly. But this isn't really politics, but have you guys seen this girl's interview with the hat? She like this like baffled me how oblivious this girl was, man. It is it's just crazy. You just gotta watch it. I don't know if I'm sure a few of you have seen it because it's gone pretty viral. But this girl basically accuses black kid of stealing her phone. And
14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. at a New York City hotel last month, accusing him of stealing her phone. His father, jazz musician Keon Harold, recorded the encounter and accused Ponsetto of racial profiling.
We have what you see two black people.
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
Now, the video shows Ponsetto trying to stop the teenager from leaving the hotel lobby and then rushing toward them. Hotel surveillance video shows the 22-year-old woman tackling Keon Jr. Now, he never had the phone. It turned up several minutes later at the hotel.
Basically, she left it in her Uber is what happened. But yeah, she tried to tackle the 14-year-old kid. She's 22. She tried to tackle the 14-year-old kid. The dad, like, pushed her off. Yada, yada. Chaos ensues. But
California yesterday to coordinate Ponsetto's. That's why I'm in her lawyer interview. We had done that yesterday when her lawyer spoke with us before she was arrested.
With Gayle
they
King.
told us that NYPD had not yet contacted them. Mia, help me understand. What made you think that
First, I love the national TV interview, and she's got a hat on that says Daddy.
Keon had your phone. That's why I'm confused. Why did you think he had it?
She was on TikTok till she got arrested. Yeah, that makes sense.
The people that had been exiting the hotel, because in my mind, anybody exiting is probably the one that might be the one that is trying.
And like, it's so crazy because she's either like one of those black square liberals that literally does nothing or, you know, doesn't try to educate herself on any issues, literally just posts a black square, or she's like full Q. You know, and she fully believes like every conspiracy theory, because now with like young girls like that, it can really go either way. But she's all the way in one way or the other. There's no middle ground with this one.
Trying to steal my phone. I admit, yes, I could have approached the situation differently, or maybe not yelled at him like that and made him feel, you know, maybe some sort of inferior way, making him feel as if I was like hurting his feelings, because that's not my intention. I consider myself to be super sweet. I really never ever meant for it to like hurt him or his father. either.
Are you saying that you were stopping everybody in the lobby, asking them about your phone? Is that what you're saying?
Not everyone, just the
black
people that,
people.
in the meantime, while the hotel manager was checking the footage, I just wanted to do my part as best.
First of all, this lawyer just looks dead inside. Like, I don't know if it's a family friend or something, why she would even take this case, but I've never seen such a blank stare. While this girl just vomits ridiculousness.
You just described yourself as super sweet. I know you've seen the video. When you look at the video, the reaction seems very extreme. It doesn't seem like it's someone who's super sweet.
How would you feel if you were alone in New York and, you know, you're going to spend time with your family during the holidays and you lose the one thing that gets stolen from you that has all of the access to the only way that you're able to get back home?
I just don't think I would randomly attack people, is what I'm saying to you. I know you said you could have handled it better, but I just don't think I would randomly attack people in the manner.
I mean, I know we're all attached to our phones at this point, but I feel like as an adult, if you lose your phone, you would still be able to figure things out. Or, I don't know, go to you were like in downtown New York, right? There's got to be a cell phone store within walking distance. You just go get a new phone.
Which you did. What do you think when you look at that video? You're standing there in your leggings and your flip-flops, and it looks like you're just going nuts, for lack of a better word.
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
I don't feel that that is who I am as a person. I don't feel like this one mistake does define me, but I do sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize that if I made the son feel as if I assaulted him, or if I hurt his feelings, or the father's feelings.
I don't believe one mistake defines anybody, but I think when I look at that particular video, you did more than just accuse him. The video seems to show that you physically attacked this young boy. You do see that too, right?
But at the end of the day, the dad did end up like slamming me to the ground and pulling my hair and throwing me and dragging me across the ground. So
because you attacked his kid, you attacked his son, his 14-year-old son, and he just kind of threw you out of the way. Like, he didn't like beat you up or anything. Like, I don't know what do you want him to do? You're like, stick and move, son. Get her.
I will say that.
Yeah, but I think, you know, the video we saw, it looked like you had just attacked his son.
Yeah, the footage shows me attacking his son. Of attacking him how? Yelling at him? Yes. Okay, I apologize. Can we move on?
I know you're saying I don't need to. I just want to apologize, but I do think
so
that
cringe,
there should
man.
be some
I know
context
this is a few
to your
days old,
actions
but
that day.
Okay, so
it's so
basically,
cringe.
I'm a 22-year-old girl. Racism how is one girl accusing?
Did you guys get that? I'm a 22-year-old girl. I. Racism, I. Solid logic. Like, this whole interview just shows that sometimes less is more. I feel like just saying nothing would have been way better than this. Let people make their own conclusions. Don't make a statement. Whatever you do. You know, public speaking's not for everyone, I guess. I don't know. Ah, shit.
Me to the ground and
His son.
I don't. The deeper. What is the deeper? A guy about a phone. A crime. Where is the context in that?
Mia,
what is the deeper? What is the deeper? What is the deeper story
Mia, it's
here?
not. That's not the problem. You have to at least understand your actions that day. You seem to have attacked this little boy, this young boy, this teenager. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone. That's the thing. I mean, you're saying, look, I'm 22 years old. You're 22 years old, but
like,
you are
can't
old
even
enough
admit
to
she's
know
wrong.
better.
She's so
I will
salty.
say, you're 22. I get it.
Enough.
Ooh.
The hotel did have my phone.
That part.
The hotel did end up having my phone. I did.
Even the
Better. I will say, you're 22. I get it.
Enough. The hotel did have my phone. The hotel did end up having my phone. I did get my.
even the lawyer's like, yo, daddy, chill. It's like, oh, it is so bad, man. There's actually a part 2. to this.
Her attorney, that's Sharon Gatan, just hours before her arrest last week. This morning, we began where we left off. The thing,
Do you want to get to that part?
He didn't even own, and then attack you where we left off. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone.
Okay, so
That's the thing.
Do you want to get to that part?
You're saying, look,
Because
I'm
the
22
hotel
years
did
old.
have
You're
my
22
phone.
years old, but you are old enough to know better.
Oh, the hotel
So I will
did
say
have
you're
my...
22.
All right,
I
Gail,
get it.
Enough. The hotel did have my phone. The hotel did end up having my phone. I did get my belongings returned to me. So,
I mean, I kind of feel
maybe
like the lawyer's doing a bad
it
job,
wasn't
but
him,
I don't care.
But at the same time, how is it so that as soon as I get asked to leave the premises after I had
Oh, thanks,
accused
man.
this
Appreciate
person
that.
of stealing my phone, how is it that all of a sudden they
I
just
would call you by
miraculously
your
have my
name, but
phone
you
when I
don't
come back?
have one. Oh.
And it didn't seem as if my accusations really bothered the son and the father, because they were just enjoying a nice meal right after this whole encounter.
What does that even mean? Their lives didn't crumble, and they didn't like sit down and cry in a corner after I accused them of stealing my phone. So therefore, they didn't actually care about being racially profiled, attacked in a hotel lobby for doing absolutely nothing. Like, like what? What is this person? Like, I cannot believe that that people like this exist. It blows my mind how she can, like, in her head, turn this into she's the victim and that they were mean to her, and that, like, she gets this national platform to say her piece, and this might be one of the worst attempts at, the worst PR campaign I've ever currently seeing it.
But all I'm saying,
I don't know if you...
is I want this to be over, and I'm sorry.
Whether they were
so I would
bothered
love
by
to
your-
make this short and
I don't
sweet,
know if you
Gail.
could- Mia, I want to go back to that day. Take us back
Like, can we give Gail King a little respect? Like, just a little bit? It's Gail King, you know what I mean? Like, can Gail get a little respect?
to that day. We've all seen the video.
Okay, so I arrived back to the hotel after grabbing some Starbucks. I had noticed my phone had been
Of course
missing,
you
so
did.
I just approached the hotel manager, asked him if he could kindly just check the footage. In my opinion, I was like,
Here's what I don't understand. During this whole ruckus, why wouldn't you just call the phone? Well, like, you could, I'm surely she knows her own number. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not gonna assume anything at this point. But why wouldn't you just call the phone? I mean, at least try that first before you, I don't know, tackle people. I mean, I feel like that is a logical step to take first.
okay, any person
Well,
walking
fuck do I
down
know,
could
though.
possibly be the person that might have had my phone. I wasn't racial profiling whatsoever. I'm a woman. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like a woman of color. I'm
Yes.
Italian, Greek, Puerto
Yes.
Rican.
You
Okay.
keep saying you're Puerto Rican. Does that mean that you can't be racist because you're saying you're a woman of color? Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what she's dancing
Exactly.
around.
Well, I would disagree that people of color can be racist too. Do you believe that you should pay a price for this?
I don't feel
I mean, I feel like anybody can profile. You clearly, I mean, there was other people in the lobby. You clearly singled out the black kid to the extent of tackling him. And now you're trying to be like, I'm young and Puerto Rican. I can't be, a profiling racist asshole. Like, well, I don't know about that. Like, there's different types of
that
racism.
my accusation is a crime.
But it's more than the accusation. It's the way that you tackled him, it seems, on the videotape. What would you do differently? You said that you look at that tape and that's not who you are.
I think I could have just asked the hotel manager. So yes, I could have stepped aside, or the father and I. We immediately could have.
Or literally anything else. You could have literally done anything else. Short of like drop kicking the guy, you made the worst possible decision. And maybe just be a slightly more apologetic when you do something this. Like, there's no way, I don't even think I could go on TV if I did something like this. Like, I would be so embarrassed if I just completely fucking whiffed on something like this. Like, I don't know if she feels shame, but the like just the I don't know what kind of feeling would go through your whole body when you found out the phone was in the Uber you took after you tackled a kid because you thought he stole your phone. Like, I can't even imagine.
Started just speaking at a lower tone, and probably that would have handled the whole situation a lot better.
With all due respect, when Mr. Harold was talking to you, it seemed to me that he was responding to you because you had accused his son.
I'm saying that both of us. I said it, both of us.
You see two black people?
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
Bottom line is this issue is much bigger than.
What is that? What was that?
I think Mia is a issue is much. Bottom line is this issue is much bigger than. I think Mia is a.
See two black. See two black.
No, my phone.
Issue than.
She just little belly rub.
I think Mia is appreciating, and she sees it as a very simple thing.
Attorney Sharon Gatan sat with Ponsetto through the entire interview and wanted her client to feel empowered to tell her own story. But Gatan also felt it important to provide context on Ponsetto.
Okay, I think, yeah. Like, I really don't understand the belly rub and the daddy hat. And I'm not going to say that Generation Z has lost it, but, I guess there's just goofballs in every generation. Because I'm actually impressed with a lot of Gen Z, especially the ones I see on TikTok that are, like, politically educated. But that one, I don't know, that one slipped through the cracks there. Some people's kids, man, I swear. Anyway, so this is just a whole lot of ridiculous going on here. So, Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene thought it'd be a good idea that she's going to call for impeachment articles, or she's drawing up impeachment articles that'll be delivered on the 21st of January for some shit Biden hasn't even done yet, or I guess shit he will do. I don't really know. This is the Newsmax clip.
Against the impeachment effort by the Democrats. President Trump has held over 600 rallies in the last 4 years. None of them included assaulting police, destroying businesses, or burning down cities. Democrats have...
Well, it's actually true. He got sued in 2016 for incitement of a riot because a bunch of people got beat up at his rally when he told people to get him the hell out of there. So, just saying, shit has gone down.
Spent all this time endorsing and enabling violent riots that left billions in...
Imagine thinking you're censored, being a United States congressperson on the floor of the House chamber, speaking on, I don't know, 7 different national TV networks. Like, you are not censored at all. You have to wear a mask because the other day when you people didn't wear masks, 3 members of Congress got COVID, a disease that has killed almost 400,000 people in just the United States.
Property damage and 47 dead across the United States. Democrats' impeachment of President Trump today has now set the standard that they should be removed for their support of violence against the American people.
Well done, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia.
These fucking people.
Just been on the job for about a week or so, and there she was defending the president. She's back with us tonight. Well,
by the way, this is the future of the GOP right here. Like, this is what we're looking at. People like her, Lauren Boebert. The future of the GOP has nothing to do with policy. It's all about hating the left and being loud, and it's basically just hating the left and accusing them of a bunch of crazy shit. Like, that's what the base wants. Even after everything that's happened with Trump, everything that's happened, he's still the most popular choice for 2024 by like 25% or something. I think he's at like 45%. and Mike Pence is at like 18. You know what I mean? It's something like that. So he's still a clear favorite, even after everything. So that's what the GOP wants. And we're going to see a serious fracture, I think, over the next 2 years. And I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but it ain't going to be good.
Welcome back. You were on
for
last
them.
night.
Probably
Big
be good
hit,
for
by
us,
the way.
maybe.
Welcome, Congresswoman. How do you feel about today, first of all?
Well, I'm absolutely disgusted with what happened today. What the Democrats are putting the American people through is atrocious. It's a waste of our taxpayer dollars. And they're pouring salt in the wounds of 75 million Americans who voted for President Trump. This is not why I wanted to come to Washington. I wanted to actually work on real problems. But it's apparent that we definitely have real.
I bet the fucking QAnon supporter wants to work on real problems. I fucking bet, lady. Like, literally 2 years ago, this lady was a Facebook QAnon mom, and now she, I don't know, I mean, she's basically one of the most recognizable Congress members in the GOP. Just to give you an idea of where we're at.
And this is why I wanted to come on your show tonight. I'm tired of Republicans that lay down and allow this country to be ravaged, allow Democrats to abuse their power and their positions. And I believe it's time for Republicans to stand up for the American people and do a good job in
Links in
Congress.
bio to YouTube and Twitch,
Very
guys.
well.
You want to come over and
yes, 10
check
or so
that out.
Republicans did this as well. We'll have more on that in a bit. Congresswoman, I understand, though, you have something pressing, something important, and something new you'd like to share with everybody.
Yes, I would like to announce on behalf of the American people, we have to make sure that our leaders are held accountable. We cannot have a president of the United States that is willing to abuse the power of the office of the presidency and be easily bought off by foreign governments, foreign Chinese energy companies, Ukrainian energy companies. So on January 21st, I will be filing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden.
Wow. Articles of impeachment.
So, let me get this straight. You're filing... Joe Biden has not been tied to any Ukrainian gas companies or energy companies. Now, his family has. His son definitely has. But, you know, that's not how our current government works. You cannot convict Joe Biden for what Hunter Biden has done legally. I mean, Hunter Biden, as far as we know as of now, has not done anything illegal. So you're issuing articles of impeachment because of you think Joe Biden is tied to Chinese and Ukrainian energy companies? Like, wouldn't such a thing require, like, an investigation or, like, proof or anything? Like, these are the people that went absolutely insane over trying to impeach Trump when there was clear evidence that he tried to get Ukraine to look into Biden. I mean, that was clear as day. Now, whether that was impeachable or not was the question. But it definitely happened, and then he tried to cover it up. Several different ways. I mean, we're not going to relitigate the fucking Ukraine thing, because it was just way too complicated for anybody to really care about. Same with the Russiagate shit. But this doesn't even make any sense. Like, this is all... I mean, just get ready, because this is all the Republican Party is going to be for the next couple years. At least the next, well, probably fucking forever at this point. Who knows? I have no hope. But it's going to be all performative horseshit investigations. Thank God we won the Senate. Because the amount of times they would have called Hunter Biden up to the Senate chamber to talk about him smoking crack or something, we would have lost count. This is their game. Fucking all these faux investigations for the greatness of America after they spent the last 4 years fucking uber simping for Donald Trump. Oh wait, I can't say simp anymore on Twitch yet. Or whatever.
Impeachment on Joe Biden.
By the way, while you guys are here, if you could like the stream, I really, really appreciate it. If you watch my lives, you could follow me on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to support me, you can subscribe on Twitch, and then you get to use emojis. So all that stuff. Also join the Discord.
On his first full day as president, I'm looking at Hunter Biden right now, so we're talking about
Well,
Joe.
imagine
Obviously,
fucking that. Oh, there we go.
As well. How is that going to work? You are a freshman. You're in the minority. What will happen next? Is this symbolic, or can you really do something about this?
Well, like I said, I'm a big believer in having people in office that are actually willing to do the job. And I can't imagine people in this country being so fearful of the future of a Biden presidency that they may be willing to commit violence like they did in the Capitol here in Washington, D.C. We cannot have that. I do not condone that violence. The American people need hope. They need to know that there are Republicans in Congress that are willing to stand up and fight for them, regardless of being in a minority, regardless of having all odds against us, against me, or against anyone in Congress. We have to.
Or hear me out. Instead of a fake impeachment investigation that's actually not going anywhere, it's not even going to be an investigation. It's going to be it's just a spectacle that's going to die immediately because, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi's in control of the fucking House. Instead of doing some spectacle, why not try to pass health care or stimulus or, I don't know, an eviction moratorium for the 40 million people that might be kicked out in like a month? Or, I don't know, people can't afford God damn it. Daycare. Yeah, people can't afford daycare. People can't afford anything, honestly. And there's so many things. The jobs report came out today. Another 1 million people are out of work this week. This late in the pandemic, those are the kind of jobs that aren't really coming back. I mean, there's so many things you could be working on to help the people of Georgia. Yet you'd much rather do this performative garbage. God, I'm so over these fucking people.
To hold people accountable. Joe Biden is on record on the phone saying that he would withhold $1 billion of foreign aid if he didn't get his way with these deals with his son Hunter. And there's an ongoing investigation with Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh my God, that's such a stupid talking point. The Joe Biden said he'd withhold money from Ukraine thing was part of the UN strategy. He went over there on orders from Obama. He literally has talked about that story several times in public. It's not a secret at all in any way. Because they had a corrupt prosecutor, he told Ukraine, which was a very corrupt regime at the time, that if they didn't get rid of this guy, who was extremely corrupt, like they had protests in the streets about him, that he was not going to give them the money. And that was the whole story. And this was signed off by every country that we are allies with that was involved in this deal. Like, this isn't, it's just so ridiculous that they ever bring this up. Like, how do they ever think this is a good talking point?
Into being bought and paid for by communist Chinese energy companies. This is a dangerous threat to our country when we have a man that will be holding the power of the presidency, but will so easily and is on record for abusing power.
We're going to play that phone call. I'm going to actually make an arrangement to get it in a moment. But while we do that, I want to ask you, and I'm going to just play devil's advocate for a moment. I'm, with you on Joe Biden.
What are you going to do when all this fails?
Well, it looks very corrupt. Let's face it. It hasn't been proven 1,000%, but I think it looks very bad and warrants further investigation, definitely. But you just said a moment ago, you didn't go to Congress for this kind of thing. A lot of us are frustrated. I know a lot of the American people are frustrated about COVID relief, and, there are other pressing matters. What do you say to that? That perhaps, we don't need yet another impeachment right after.
By the way, these are the same assholes that are right now, after those idiots stormed the Capitol, and now that the Democrats want to do an impeachment of Trump because he incited a riot. This is the assholes that are calling for unity. And she's literally saying she's going to issue articles of impeachment the day Biden takes office for a crime that she thinks he might have committed that he clearly has not. And she knows this will die immediately. Like, there's no chance of this happening. Any energy she puts into this is too much because it's dead immediately. And these are the people that are calling for unity. That's why, spare me your unity calls when this is the exact kind of shit that you turn around and do.
After this one, 3 in what, a year and a half? Maybe let this one go. Just devil's advocate here.
No, absolutely not. We don't let criminals serve in our offices like
I beg to differ on that one.
Or even Kamala Harris, who shared the Minnesota Freedom Fund bail link on her social media, asking people to donate money to bail criminals out of jail that attacked small businesses, burned down the city, attacked the police precinct. These people need to be held accountable. Republicans have not been strong enough in doing that. So it's time, if they want to if they want to lower the bar on what impeachment is, then yes, let's roll with it. And the Americans want this to happen. Americans are sick and tired and fed up, fighting for the economy. We need to reopen America. That's how we get our economy back on track.
So we have that phone call, which never received adequate attention from the media. They didn't even try to explain it. They just kind of brushed it aside. But this is Joe Biden talking about, kind of bragging about how he muscled Ukraine into doing what he wanted. It's fascinating. Watch, everybody. This is after he left the vice presidency a few months later.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and...
First, this isn't a phone call. This is a goddamn live, I don't know, panel or something. This, oh my God. This is not news. Why? This is a dead talking point from years ago. I don't know. You guys get the point. She's fucking stupid. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. But I don't know. Just the balls on these people, man. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck, man? Why is Twitter going cray? Weird. I don't understand sometimes when I'm streaming. It does this dumb shit. Anyway. So I caught a little bit of AOC's live stream last night, and it was pretty interesting. She talks about, at one point, she thought she might possibly gonna be, might die. That's kind of crazy. I think it's this one I spoke about. Yeah, I think this is it. But before we get to that, it's still, it doesn't matter how many times I look at the crazy and see these people's messages and talking points. I've been covering Marjorie Taylor Greene for 6 months at this point, but it never ceases to amaze me how she just rises in the ranks of the Republican Party. They really literally have no one to latch onto at this point. When she first won her primary, they were at arm's length with her. Now she is the rising star and one of the most well-known in the party. And is pretty much, even people on the right are claiming her and calling her the face of the party now. And she's literally calling for impeachment the first day. And on the same day, she's on the House floor saying that the Dems are crazy for wanting to impeach Trump for inciting a riot and calling for unity. I don't know, worms in their brains doesn't even begin to cover it. But yeah, this is I don't know. I thought this was interesting. What the fuck is going on, man?
Wednesday, as we know, was the president, frankly, assisted by members of Congress, incited an attack on the United States Capitol. This is known as an act of insurrection, an act of sedition. And frankly, he is a traitor to our country, a traitor to the United States. And I don't really think that there's any other way.
This is the other video.
There is no other way to really.
This is, it's just her calling him a traitor.
There's no other.
Yeah, no, I think she's right at this point. I don't know what else you would call him at this point. Like Trump never had an ideology. He was just out for Trump. Like whatever Trump wanted, that's what Trump went for. Like it was never about the country or anything to do with the people. It's whatever was best for Trump. God damn, dude, what the? I'm so pissed right now. Okay, here it is.
I was going to die. I had a very close encounter where I thought I was going to die. And you have all of those thoughts where, at the end of your life, and all of these thoughts come rushing to you. And that's what happened to a lot of us on Wednesday. And I thought I did not know if I was going to make it to the end of that day alive. They don't give a damn about the law. They don't.
Isn't that crazy? Like, can you imagine what those people would have done if they would have actually reached AOC? Like, they already had, they had clearly had handcuffs, zip ties, all that stuff. And by the way, I've seen like several more videos that point to some inside bullshit. But I mean, I just can't even imagine what, she would definitely 100% be dead. And I don't know what she's talking about, but clearly, because we saw in my last videos how close some of the people got to inside the building. Clearly she had a pretty close brush with death. That, scared the shit out of her. And like, I just can't, like that's like, I don't know, I guess the closest to war that we're gonna, a member of Congress is gonna get, especially like an angry mob just pilled out of their mind, just running at you, coming for you, and like, if they get to you, you're fucked. Like how many times is that gonna fucking happen in your life? Hopefully never. And it's got to be a crazy situation, all because of just like what you believe, like literally because she's trying to give people health care. And what a crazy fucking world we live in.
They don't give a damn about order. They don't give a damn about safety. They give a damn about white supremacy. They care about preserving the social order and the mythology of whiteness than the grandeur of our democracy. That's what they care about. They lust for power more than they care about democracy. You don't get to allow for an attack that kills 5 people, and then afterwards you say, I wasn't a part of it. Yes, you were. You were a part of it when you caged kids. You were a part of it when you repealed Title IX. You were a part of it when the president committed the first dozen number of crimes that he committed. You were a part of it when you excused the law breaking. You were a part of it. You were a part of it. You were a part of it. Those 5 people's blood is on your hands. What are you going to do? And they think that resigning is going to clean that blood off their hands. It is always on them.
Facts. And that right there is why the right hates AOC. Because she's well-spoken and she, like, it's harder to take somebody seriously, like a Chuck Schumer or something, because you know their message is just so corrupted. Like Chuck Schumer hasn't probably said a single thing that he fully means in 30 years. But like when AOC speaks, you know that at least that most of it, she actually, like, she has conviction when she speaks. She actually believes the things she is saying. And because she's not bought off by every fucking corporate donor in the country, she can say things that are a little more on point and not so politician-y. And the right absolutely hates that. I mean, she's really the only one that can even compete with Trump as far as like a social media presence. Like she, you know, she knows how to weaponize social media for the movement, and they fucking hate her for it. And it's pretty awesome. But yeah. Society of One. That's pretty much the Republican ideology. I mean, what they don't. I thought they were all about free market until now they want to regulate big tech. They're basically, their ideology is, I want to do away with whatever I don't like at the time. Like I thought they were free trade. Trump's not free trade. They loved everything he did with trade. I thought they were, anti regulation. That's not the case anymore. Basically, everything that they've been preaching, like the first thing Liz Warren ever did when she came to Washington was she wanted to break up big tech. That was like one of the first policies that she really ever pushed, and they basically laughed her out of the room. Bernie called for breaking up big tech back in 2016, and not a single person in the Republican Party spoke up about it. But now, because their ideology has gotten so radical that it's bad for business, it's not that these companies are like super left-wing liberals and like actually give a shit about the issues. It's just, it's the bottom dollar, whatever affects the bottom dollar. And it turns out a bunch of Nazis screaming about, blood sacrifice, cabal cults, or whatever new QAnon thing is going on happens to be bad for business. I mean, hell, they don't let you misgender people. They're definitely not going to let you call them a raging cannibal pedophile Satanist. So that shit gets banned, and that's like their entire base. And now they're like, oh, free speech is under attack from a private company. They're such hypocrites, man, and it never ceases to amaze me. Speaking of that, kind of goes into the next thing. By the way, while you're here, if you could like the stream, really appreciate it. Candace Owens, who we haven't heard from in a while. I actually did a video on Candace Owens a while back, but Candace Owens is suing Facebook fact checkers. She's fact checking the fact checkers, and she put out a nice little propaganda piece that basically says nothing and it just asks for money. So yeah, it's short and sweet, so I figured we'd dissect it a little bit.
Big tech is trying to delete us, our movement. We must stop them.
Dun dun. It's trying to delete me.
You are smart. Long ago, you stopped.
Yes. I mean, I'd like to think so. I don't think you're very smart, though. I think you're well spoken. Actually, you're kind of smart. You're just a grifter.
Stopped believing in the corrupt corporate media. You canceled the newspapers and cable shows and began reading your news from social platforms. Dominant on those platforms were conservative voices, like mine. We are the Americans who did not have a voice in traditional media. Honestly, do you think the left wants me to have a platform to speak? But
You literally had a platform to speak. Like, you're one of the most well-known conservative voices. You're on Twitter right now. you have a YouTube channel with 800, 760K subs. You have a podcast with PragerU. You are funded by oil, like, gajillionaires. The Wilkes brothers, who, like, hate gay people, by the way, have billions upon billions of dollars. And they fund Candace to the tune of whatever the fuck it takes to run her shitty podcast. Plus, I'm sure a lot more. You are not censored in any way. No one gives a shit if you have a voice. You're just dumb because you have bad ideas. Yeah, exactly. The right playing the victim. Yeah, she did used to be a lefty, Paul. Exactly. Yeah. She ran a stupid site that everybody hated. Not just she was the last, like, bipartisan person the internet hated. Like, the left hated it and the right hated it. She had this stupid website called Social Autopsy where you could basically, like, track down people you didn't like. Like, if somebody wrote a post about you, like, you could, it was a really dumb idea. And then she was a lefty commentator. She had, like, a website, like a lefty website. And the entire time Trump was running for office, she was making fun of him, all kinds of weird jokes. It was just, like, bad. It was bad commentary, and it failed, naturally. And, like, 6 months later, she reappears out of nowhere, and she's ultra-conservative. Call me crazy, but I've never met anyone who was an adult who was so involved in politics they did it for a living and then changed their views completely 180 degrees in 6 months. I don't know. Seems a little grifty to me. But again, what the fuck do I know?
I can have a voice. Here, on my own social platforms. I can be heard. That freedom infuriates the left, who used to own complete control over our information. So they hatched a plan to...
Isn't the whole point that they do own control of it? Or they used to? Or they don't? I don't understand. What's your game here? Did they used to or they do now?
Silence me and all of us conservatives. And Facebook is paying them for it. Here is how it works. In 2016, hysterical liberals had to find someone to blame for their humiliating loss to Donald Trump. In their minds, they could not possibly have lost due to their own horrendous candidates or policies or their own failing.
Okay, first, that person sucks. That person's the same person. That person sucks. This person's super based, though. It is true to a point that, like, the neoliberals, the Hillary Clinton staff, and pundits on TV, like, they can't fathom that Hillary was just a bad candidate. Like, she was the perfect candidate for Trump to go up against, and that she didn't campaign right, and she took the blue wall for granted, and she took the black vote for granted. She took everything for granted. Like, all the stuff that liberals are the boxes they're supposed to check, she just took them for granted. And Trump chipped a little bit off here, he chipped a little bit off there, and bam. You know, he won by like 10,000 votes in Wisconsin, 20,000 votes in Michigan. So Hillary ran a bad campaign, and some liberals went so far in on the Russia stuff because they couldn't accept that they were just bad at politics. You know, like, they can't be bad at politics. They make fucking millions of dollars doing it. But, like, what she's on here is a whole nother level of stupid.
Message, so they attacked the one thing that they did not have total control over: social media companies. They applied extreme pressure to silence or censor fake news, which was just a fancy way of saying news that they don't like.
Or
Facebook
lies.
bent to that pressure and created a fact-checker network with godlike powers over all of us.
What about godlike
Here's how
powers?
Facebook fact-checking works. A website you have never heard of, run by partisan beta leftists, stalk the pages of your favorite conservative personalities. Whenever we say anything they disagree with, these fact-checkers write a vicious partisan hit piece. Then they harass.
Says George Soros is funding the chaos in Minneapolis. Yeah, that's not true. Can't. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Everything. Like, let me tell you about these fact checkers and their partisan hackery. When I put out lies on the internet, they say they're lies. Can you believe it? This website won't let me just say whatever I want and get away with it. Like, I can't say that fucking Act Blue is actually a deep state arm of the liberal Democrat wing of the party and that they're stealing all the BLM money, which is a horseshit conspiracy I probably made up on my way to the PragerU office. They won't let me say that. How can this be?
Us and our audience by slapping hazardous warning labels on what we have posted. Many times, those labels say missing context or disputed. Yes, thanks, Facebook. Every political argument in America is disputed. Every argument is indeed missing some context.
No, that's not true. What's better, the public option or Medicare for all, is like, that's not black and white. Like, there's a lot of context. There's a lot more to it than just, oh, well, one covers everybody and one doesn't cover everybody. Like, there's more to it than that. Whether BLM is, or whether the Democratic Party is getting donations, or is, whether whether your donations to BLM are actually going straight to Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders is not, there's no missing context. Like, that's just not true, because it's a payment processor, and that's not how payment processors work. Like, that, there's no missing context there, lady.
But the insanity continues. These hack checkers, as I like to call them, would be just an annoyance, but Facebook gives them the ability to destroy the reach of our content, so we cannot communicate with you. They demonetize our pages so we can't make a living producing content for our audiences. And here is the breathtaking part. Most of these fact checks are pure partisan bile. They are false, fake, untrue. But there is no recourse for your favorite conservative creators. We are held at gunpoint by these partisan hacks, and Facebook is giving them the gun. This is why I am suing the Facebook fact checkers. I'm suing them on behalf of you, your favorite creators and news sites, on behalf of our freedom of speech and thought. So who are these hack checkers? Well, I'm suing a site called Lead Stories. Lead Stories is run by a former CNN employee of 26 years who makes a living cannibalizing and slandering conservative content and creators. His website has published disputed fake news stories, including one that went after my content personally. And so I'm going after him personally. Here is an important question. Who funds Lead Stories? According to their own masthead, Lead Stories is funded by Facebook and Google, along with ByteDance. And what is ByteDance? It's a Beijing-based company that owns the TikTok spyware app. Our own Justice Department says the company is a national security threat and compromised by the Communist Party of China. Facebook, then, is paying for fact checkers funded by an arm of the Communist Party of China to censor.
Why is every time, why does it always turn out to be like communism is destroying America? Like, she didn't even say anything bad. She just said, oh yeah, well, this tech company is funding this thing on a website. And they said that TikTok was a national security threat, not ByteDance. ByteDance is just the company that owns it. You know, like, you mean the fact checker that works on Facebook gets the money from Facebook and Google? Like, okay. Let's look into the people that fund you. Is that your whole, that's your best argument? Is that he gets funding from ByteDance and they're Chinese, and, you know, Chinese bad? Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna make a 5-minute little fucking ad, I'm sure she's gonna ask for money here at the end. you would have a better story. Like, show us where he lied or something. You know, because sometimes fact checkers, I've seen fact checkers like kind of dance around the truth a little bit. Like they did it to Bernie Sanders once with the Washington Post. Like the Washington Post literally fact checked him on a story that the Washington Post did. It was back in 2019. So like they can get a little hairy with the context stuff sometimes. Like she does have a point there, but the stuff she puts out is just outright lies, like very easily provable lies. And you know, like the KKK was funded by, or what did she say one time? Something about fuck, I can't remember. Oh, the NRA trained black people how to fight back against the KKK or some dumb shit like that. I don't know.
My content here in America. The Communist Party of China has more say over my content than the First Amendment. This is insanity. It's un-American. It's dangerous, and it needs to stop. This is why I am fighting. Our freedoms are at stake. Our movement is at stake. We know these battles are taking place all over the world.
I guess.
Do you wish to support me in my effort to get...
Nope. Not listening to that shit. Everyone please take 5 minutes to watch this video and more importantly, share it. I have been warning everyone since last year about these fact checkers. I swear to God, like, I know so many, like, people on my Facebook that are, like, conservative, you know, and they don't really follow the news, like, you know, hardcore, but, you know, a lot of them are just very much on the right. And one of their favorite things to say is, like, who's fact checking the fact checkers? And it's like, well, I mean, you can look on the story and it usually provides, like, sources and explains everything. Yeah, but who's fact checking them? It's like, well, I guess you could. I mean, if you just look into, like, I don't know, maybe read past the headline of whatever, like, I don't know, conservativekickass.com said maybe isn't true. I don't know. I just find it very funny. Yeah, but no, this lawsuit's not going anywhere. It's just another grift. 5-minute video. 45 seconds of asking for money. When she's literally funded by gazillionaires. Like the Wilkes brothers have billions and billions upon billions of dollars. And she's on here begging for money from people for this bullshit lawsuit. That she'll probably just fucking swing with most of it. And, you know, be like, oh, we tried. You know, it'll get thrown out like day one. And she'll raise like 500 grand. Swing with 150,000, 200,000 of it. Some conservative idiot lawyer will get paid a big fucking fee and she'll make some speech like, this was a great day for our country, for patriots, and we fought back against the fake news media, and next time we'll make better stride, you know, or some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know what's coming. God, I just hate seeing people so successful with their stupid grifts. Anyway, so that's that. 70 million people buy into this. Very scary. Yes, definitely, Paul. It is scary. But just, it's like, you know, if you're in that information bubble, if all you see all day is Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, mixing a little bit of QAnon stuff, like this is what you think is really going on in the world. Like you think the Facebook fact checkers are like a really big, scary deal, when that couldn't be farther from the case. Have you ever seen the hashtag Ted Cruz is the type of guy who... I have not, although I do enjoy some Ted slander on Twitter. It's usually pretty awesome. This guy, this YouTuber, Some More News, Cody Johnson is his name. He made a really good video about how goofy Ted Cruz is. Like he got in this Twitter battle with somebody that had like 26 followers, and the girl got harassed so bad she had to like change her number and move. Ted Cruz is a weird fucking guy, for sure. AOC can speak well and everything, but do you really think her policies can work in the U.S.? I mean, yeah, I think a lot. AOC wants to tax the rich. I mean, I think that's a good policy. I mean, she doesn't have like a set policy standard. I mean, I think the original rollout of the Green New Deal was bad because there was just too much pork in it. I mean, it was her first bill in Congress. She put way too much stuff in it. I think it should have been geared just more towards, it was kind of like a wish list instead of a real like climate plan. Like, I like the actual climate plan because we need to have a strong plan when it comes to climate. And even if we don't get it, like, we still get something. And I mean, you know, you can make an argument like obviously everything that AOC pushes for will not get passed, but just AOC talking about it and bringing it to the forefront and putting those ideas out there will get at least, you know, we'll get something closer to that, and it'll open up people to new ideas, and it'll make things like Medicare for All is now extremely popular. $15 minimum wage is extremely popular. Joe Manchin, who is a very conservative Democrat, he pushed back on $2,000 checks the other day. He got so much heat for it that he had to go out and take back his statement and say that he was for $2,000 checks. Like, I don't think, like, pre-AOC, the squad, people like Andrew Yang, like, that wouldn't have happened. Like, Joe Manchin has been staunchly conservative Joe, but I'm a Democrat from West Virginia forever. And now, when he plays that same tune, it's not working. So, like, AOC's not like some policy whiz that every single thing that she shoots for is going to get through, but just her putting the ideas out there and speaking to people and using her social media platform has done a fuck ton for the conservative movement. Or not the progressive movement. She's done nothing for the conservative movement. Ted Cruz's wife, his father killed. Yeah, Ted Cruz. Yeah, Ted Cruz is such a imagine. Try to find a different word instead. But imagine making campaign phone calls for a guy that said your wife was ugly and that your dad killed JFK. Like, I just don't know. And then after 2 months after that, he was making phone calls for Trump. But anyway, so this is Mr. John Dawson. He's a conservative. He's, you know, typical kind of Trumpster. He's one of the ones that, like, you know, he's always like, yeah, you know, I get all the hate. Like, you know, he'll put out propaganda and then people will call him out on it. He'll be like, much love to my haters. You know, like, there's like a section of them that they'll never, like, try to rebut or anything. They're just like, yeah, peace and love to all my haters. It's like, well, yeah, but what you just said was really, really wrong. And you have a lot of followers. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Peace and love. So, I don't know. I figured we'd go. I hadn't checked in on his content in a while. I figured we'd see what he's been up to. Maybe we can debunk some of his propaganda. Actually, you know what? Before that, let's look at this real quick. I thought this story was pretty funny. Turns out Ivanka and Jared have been wasting some taxpayer cash.
Panorama home in Washington would not let Secret Service agents use their bathrooms.
This guy's he always gets stories out quick. Like, I'll hear about something on Twitter and like 10 minutes later, this guy's got a video out about it.
The people there to protect them were not allowed to use any of the 6+ bathrooms in their home. And so they had to rent out an apartment for those agents so they could go use the toilet. And it's cost the taxpayer over $100,000 to date. All because Ivanka and Jared are too good to use the same bathrooms as the people there to save their lives. And if you think this is ridiculous, I'm going to read you some reporting because it really gets worse. It notes here that these are people there.
They have 6 bathrooms in their house. 6 bathrooms, and the Secret Service was, you know, too low on the totem pole to use their bathrooms.
To protect the lives of some of America's most important citizens, as well as Ivanka and Jared. And here it says that, you know, this is the biggest challenge for them is finding a place to go pee. And it says here, instructed not to use any of the half-dozen bathrooms inside the couple's house, the Secret Service detail assigned to President Trump's daughter and his son-in-law spent months searching for a reliable restroom to use on the job, according to neighbors and law enforcement officials. After resorting to a porta potty, as well as bathrooms at the nearby home of former President Barack Obama and the not-so-nearby residence of Vice President Pence, the agents finally found a toilet to call their own. I'm not making that up. They literally had to go do their business at the last president's house. The guy that's not even president anymore, he's a private citizen, likely because he has agents still, and he doesn't make them go pee somewhere else. Let them in. Barack Obama let them in when Ivanka and Jared wouldn't. Mike Pence, to his credit, did so as well, even though apparently it was a bit of a trek. They continue here. But it came at a cost to the U.S. taxpayers. Since September 2017, the federal government has been spending $3,000 a month, more than $100,000 to date, to rent a basement studio with a bathroom from a neighbor of the Kushner family. A White House spokesperson denied that Trump and Kushner restricted agents from their 5,000 square foot home with its 6 bedrooms and 6.5 bathrooms, and asserted that it was the Secret Service's decision to not allow protective detail inside. That account is disputed by a law enforcement official familiar with the situation, who said the agents were kept out at the family's request. I don't believe Ivanka and Jared for a second.
So yeah, that's you know, just wasting taxpayer dollars. Okay. Let's because I kind of I don't want to be on here too long tonight. It's some shit I gotta do. So we'd rather go over John Dawson content, or we can listen to some of the Qshaman Alex Jones interview. What would we rather? Where would we rather go? John Dawson propaganda or Qshaman interview? John Dawson. One for. Oh, we got Q. We might be able to mix in both. Q. W. Q. Not just the short, but it's like the, yeah. Do. All right, Qshaman it is. We might check it. I don't know how much of it is.
I think we have a right for a new Declaration of Independence. I just think it needs to be done if we can't fix things peacefully at the right time, right place. You can see how, though, Trump wants a 10-day investigation of fraud. We were about to get it. How storming the Capitol screwed all that up. Q tells us stuff and all of it's lies, is what I'm saying.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. Because you're full of shit. That's why. Because every goddamn thing out of you people's mouths doesn't come true. And it's always, oh, there's energy, and oh, now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. You said it was all over. They were all going to Gitmo. Now, oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are.
Like, I got tagged in this, like, there was this video going around TikTok a lot, and I got tagged in it a bunch. and I meant to make a video about it. Like, this is funny. Obviously, this is fucking hilarious. But Alex Jones rode the Q wave as much as he could, and then Q actually called him out in one of the drops as like a you know, like a Q hater. And after that, he soured on it, and he's totally been on board the last couple months because, you know, grifter got a grift. But now that, you know, obviously the mood has soured on Q. I mean, Alex knows when his ship is sinking. He's been at this a long time, and he stayed relevant this whole time. He knows how to, you know, navigate the waters. But, you know, this is just more performative horse shit. If Q was still popular, he would go for it.
Are now, and I'm sick of it.
The resistance.video.
Joining us is a man known as Qshaman. Jake the Barbarian, I guess, was his earlier incantation or incarnation. He's at USA Wolfpack and Parlor at Jake and Jelly. And let's just play a clip of him saying some pretty good stuff when he was out at the MAGA rally. You know, you're talking about the New World Order, the Federal Reserve, the banks, it's all true. But then what happened inside the Capitol, and what does the Qshaman tell us about the tea leaves or the bull's guts or the runes or the chicken bones he's thrown down on the deck of the ship here? Here it is.
I don't think he's that kind of shaman.
So all over the globe, countries are occupied by central banking institutions that loan the government money at interest. And this enables them to own all the other...
He is a good speaker. Like, it's all craziness, but he is a good speaker. Like, this motherfucker could sell some cars or something.
There's socioeconomic and geopolitical gears in the country, okay? And then what they do is they use their billions or trillions of dollars to create a bunch of deep underground bases where they have all this, like, highly top secret technology going on, okay? And they are, like, figuring out
they
how
literally
to do things
thought this
like
guy was
create
Antifa.
infinite energy, or do things like anti-gravity technology or inertia propulsion. They're learning how to do things like cloning and all sorts of crazy stuff, okay? This is like a global takeover. They're trying to create a new world order, right? They're trying to create a one world government. That means there's like over 180 countries involved in all this stuff, where they're monopolizing all the resources, all the labor in the country through the central banking system, okay? And that enslaves the whole country through debt to whoever owns a central bank, all right? Now, as they're researching all this stuff, as they're, you know, all this R&D, they're covering it up through top secret security clearances and through blackmail in the government, in the media, in entertainment and stuff like that, so that the truth about these technologies never gets out, and they use these people like a smokescreen for all this other stuff that's behind the scenes. And this is going on all over the world, okay? The Swiss Alps are made like Swiss cheese with these freaking underground bases, okay? The United States has over, like, seriously, 150, 200 of...
That's some kind of like old man joke, but see what I mean? Like, he doesn't skip a fucking beat. Like, he didn't stutter. There wasn't an an ah. He just fucking just goes, man. Like, he has said this shit so many times. He just has it down pat.
These things, and that's small.
He is in
compared to
prison
some
now.
countries. Okay, some countries
sad.
Infiltrated, you can't move.
Not
but
really, though.
100 miles in any direction, and you got a deep underground base.
So what happens when you try to take over the Capitol?
That's pretty much all true. The guy can have a talk show. He's very well spoken, and boy, does he know how to get attention.
I mean, I don't know. Push back on that's all true.
I dress up like a Joker sometimes to get attention. But the Q thing is problematic, and then he's in there in the middle of all this. I say if you're a journalist, people going to the Capitol, go show what's happening. Well, there were National Geographic people there, everybody. Matt Bracken rides shotgun with us. But should it be Jake the Barbarian or should it be Qshaman? What should we call you, Jake?
You can just call me Jake, Alex. It's an honor to speak with you, sir.
Okay, well, an honor. I mean, I'm sure you're a great guy. You don't look like a bad guy. But, I mean, if you say you're a listener, have you heard me warn this stuff that Q is not invincible and that Trump's in a lot of trouble?
You know, I have heard those warnings, but, you know, I'm of the belief that Q is military intelligence, and I have a lot of faith in the military.
Like, these are the guys that think they're like the master race, too. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, he has a lot of belief that Q is military intelligence. Yet, when it came to the day of storming the Capitol, They sent the guy in with the fox, with the fur hat, with the Viking helmet, and no shirt. That was the plan from the military intelligence people.
Military intelligence.
Okay, well,
Man Bear Pig, yeah.
I literally talked to all the top people, okay? And they're all surrounded and cut off.
Now we're at the, I know more top people than you know.
So that's why I kept trying to tell you guys, like, it's not being defeatist to tell America we're in trouble, need the general public to get involved. You understand that when the general public thinks everything's fine, they don't get involved. You understand? And so if there could be a silent takeover because they don't know, then that's a problem. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm quite proud of what happened on January 6th.
Okay, tell us how you're proud of it. Tell us what happened.
Well, first of all, we are talking about a government that is literally telling people when they can open their businesses, when they can see and hug their families, a government that is literally affecting the way, or trying to affect the way that their citizens breathe. We're talking about a government that has literally given billions of dollars to foreign nations through the guise of a COVID relief bill, where they give billions of dollars to foreign nations.
What is, like, they gave it through a COVID relief bill, you know, that completely fake virus.
$600 to every American citizen, and then they hand the taxpayers the bill and say, oh, yeah, by the way, you're going to pay for all of it. So to me, that sounds like treason on, like, the highest level.
So wait, the Q...
No, I hear you. I think we have a...
The fucking Qshaman is a deficit hawk? What the fuck? Doesn't matter. All conservatives are just deficit hawks. Like, oh, this fucking guy's worried about the debt, really? Jesus Christ.
Right for a new Declaration of Independence. I just think it needs to be done if we can't fix things peacefully at the right time, right place. You can see how, though, Trump wants a 10-day investigation of fraud. We were about to get it. How storming the Capitol screwed all that up.
Well, I don't quite see it that way, Alex, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that, if anything, we sent a very clear message to the globalists and to the communists who have these puppet politicians, these parasites in our system. We sent a very clear message. And we did so peacefully, despite what the Mockingbird media says.
Well, it was mostly peaceful. And when the left takes over stuff, we're supposed to let them occupy whole buildings, whole areas. That's all.
Mostly peaceful. They literally dragged the cop downstairs and beat him to death with a flagpole and a fire hydrant. But yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I guess if you go by percentage of people, there was like 30,000 people there. But, you know, you guys kind of, I don't know, led a coup, or an attempted coup, a really weird coup, all the same, but coup, all, you know, still a coup.
Legitimate argument, and people got killed there, and so I agree you're not terrorist. I'm just saying, you know, Antifa helped break down stuff and wanted this to happen. I mean, you know the deep state liked what happened, right? Because I know you think it showed them who's boss and all the rest of it, but I don't. You get my perspective that Trump's now capitulating and all this. I mean, this is not good.
Well, everybody has their opinion, Alex, and in all honesty, I understand where you're coming from. I just don't quite fully agree with you.
Do you think Trump's in a secret location in Texas and everything, and it's a CG of him capitulating?
You know, in all honesty, I believe in Occam's razor, Alex, and you know, I only talk about things that I know for certain I can prove, or things that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt are real.
I don't know if the QAnon guy believes in the simplest explanation. I feel like that might be some bullshit. I don't know about you guys. Don't feel like that's true. By the way, you guys on TikTok, my YouTube and Twitch links are in the bio. If you want to hop over there.
Stay there. You're a very interesting guy. We got to get you back on as a guest more. Don't hang up. Matt Bracken's here. He's an author, researcher. You may know who he is. Matt, do you have any comments for the Qshaman?
Yeah, I think that that Q, even if it was started by a private guy, you know, pretending to be an insider, it was taken over pretty quickly as a useful tool to feed disinformation, because it absolutely hinders and cripples the patriots, because they're all thinking that Trump is playing, you know, 4D chess, and no matter what, they're just saying he did it on purpose. There's a reason, and he's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and we're going to win in the end.
Like, think how crazy this is right now. Like, 5 years ago, not even 5 years ago. Hell, well, let's say 2016. 2016, Alex Jones is by far and away the craziest person, like the craziest, like, big personality on the internet. And people are banning, or you know, he got banned off a few platforms because, you know, the Sandy Hook stuff and the crazy shit that he bought into. And now he is not even close to the worst one, and he's telling the crazy people, like, hey man, this is batshit and this is a bad idea. And people on his show are like, hey, this is really dumb. You guys are a little bit out there. And I don't know. Oh, thanks, Lumberjack Lindy. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Like, you would think, like, 4 years ago, if you'd have told me, like, this is where we'd be at, I probably would have believed you, actually. I mean, it was kind of Trump. And we put the birther in chief in the office, so.
And then I talked to Trump, and Roger does recently, and Trump's like, what do we do, Alex? It's terrible, Alex. What do we do when there's this fraud? Trump's a regular guy, folks. He's not frickin' Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
And he's cut off from the intel. People are saying, why doesn't he?
That should not be you should not get any pushback from anyone in the entire world on that statement. Yet, I mean, you know, you watch part 10 of, like, The Fall of the Cabal, which, you know, is, like, I'd say probably top 1 or 2, like, videos that get people pilled. It's usually either, like, The Fall of the Cabal or what's that other one? Fuck. It escapes me right now. But the Fall of the Cabal is usually right up there. Or like Praying Medic series, like QAnon, like whatever it's called. Either his series or Fall of the Cabal. And in the last Fall of the Cabal episode, they literally like say like Trump is like a god and that he's a time traveler and shit. And that his uncle learned how to time travel. Like, we're literally getting into interdimensional shit with QAnon.
Declassify all this material because he can't.
Out of shadows.
Nobody will
That's
declassify.
it. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Information. If the bureaucrats want to do it for you, they have trouble getting it.
This is why he didn't go to Camp David this weekend. He might not have been let back into the White House. If he went to Texas, or much less, even not even Camp David, he's afraid if he gets on the helicopter and goes anywhere, he won't be let back in. Now he's just worried about finishing out his term.
That's right.
And not being taken out in a straitjacket under.
That's right. He didn't leave because of an Iranian threat. I was confirmed. They were talking 25th Amendment the week before last because of this rally. That's why he went back to the White House. You're damn right.
And this would have been the greatest victory for the Patriots if the mess.
Barbarian, you're a very well-spoken guy. Let's think about the Q thing. You're talking about the Federal Reserve, the New World Order, secret technologies. All this is real. But then it's like, oh, Q is why we know about it. No, we know about it because of Cleon Skousen. We know about it because of Ron Paul. We know about it, because of Carol Quigley being a criminal and admitting it all. We know about it because of Matt Bracken. It's not about the giant communist Chinese, the closest thing there is to government power.
Like, it doesn't matter where you fucking clip it, like where you bring it to. He's just saying the most outlandish shit. Like, I went from like time traveling criminals to like giant Chinese communists or whatever the fuck he said. They just snap their fingers
and fake their currency, put 3 million people in death camps. That's why Justin Trudeau said, I admire the dictatorship of Xi Jinping. I want that. Because Mao Zedong could say put 100 million peasants in the.
Alex is the king of taking like 3 words out of a headline, scrambling them around, and then making some weird ass thing. That was basically what he did. And when I covered him in Tim Pool's podcast, that's basically what he did. Like, Australian vaccines are, murdering children. And it's like, trials of Australian vaccines gave 3 kids a rash. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit Alex does.
In the city and watch half of them die. Yeah, he could do that. Or Hitler could say invade Russia and kill millions of people. Yeah, he did it. He could say bomb London. It happened. But I'm telling you, in the American system, part of our strength is we're so diversified and we can't get stuff done in a way so individuals have freedom. And I'm trying to explain it to Q folks that this esoteric stuff about magic and it's all handled. And I'm literally, you know, with General Flynn, the former head of defense.
Like that's a good point. Like Alex is obviously stupid, but like the level that of the amount of people that would have to be involved to have something like QAnon actually be real, it's just impossible. Because we are so, you know, we have 50 individual governments, and then, you know, we have and it's such a complicated system, and it would take so much for order to all these elites to like rig our system and have this grand conspiracy. Like you would need millions of people involved. This is not possible. Which is why I'm not sure how this ever got so big.
Intelligence and all these.
I mean, I do, but I don't.
Sergeant majors from Delta Force, separate from Flynn, and all of it, dude.
Now.
All of it, the CIA feeds coming in, they don't know what's going on, and that's what I keep trying to explain to you. Is I'm gonna stop ranting. Go ahead.
You're definitely not.
Tell me what's coming next. Then I want to believe it. Where is
Trump?
God,
here's a good one.
You think this is a devastating victory you just had at the Capitol? Explain to me.
Why is every
bring me up to
picture
the
does he
level
have his
of
mouth open like that?
Qshaman.
Well, first of all, allow me to say that I am not Antifa. I am not BLM. I know that there's rumors floating around online, probably
we know, bud.
Agents spreading.
When I fucking saw that, my mouth dropped, man. When I saw, no, he's actually secretly Antifa. Like, you motherfuckers. This guy's been parading around at QAnon rallies, been at every Stop the Steal rally, talking about there's secret ballots in the camera boxes. He has been like y'all's mascot, basically. And now he's Antifa? It's like, you know, these people knew, like, a lot of them knew it, and they're just like, yeah, he's Antifa. Damn it.
Disinformation. So start with there. I'm a Q supporter, a QAnon digital soldier of sorts.
Okay.
Sir,
yes,
I know. They're
of
saying
sorts.
that we said you were
a digital
Antifa,
soldier of
so
sorts.
they can block out the real Antifa that got caught there. Confirmed. No, we know you're not Antifa. What are you? You are a are you a Norseman, or are you a Q shaman? What are you?
I am a shamanic practitioner. Okay, I'm a spiritual warrior.
That sounds fancy.
And if you really want to know what's really going on, what is really going on is we are changing the quantum realm, sir. This is spiritual warfare. And if we understand that DC is built on ley lines, electromagnetic ley lines, and we understand that, yes, the Satanists, the Luciferians, the globalists, the nihilists, the Nazis, these people that have infiltrated our government are practicing black magic. They are doing evil, sick, satanic ceremonies and rituals where they're sacrificing children and drinking blood and all that stuff. And the hub of it is in D.C., in London, and in the Vatican. If we understand that these things are like acting like beacons for this low-frequency demonic energy, then we can really...
Okay, brother. Yeah, no, I know the globalists are in the weird stuff. I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, brother, you gotta slow down a little bit. You're out crazying me on my own show. Did you guys get all that? I never heard the low demon frequency energy. I don't know what that is all about. But yeah, how can you have 3 different hubs? Like the hubs, like what? It's London, DC, and the Vatican. I don't know why they hate on the Vatican so much. I guess it's just like the Pope used the Build Back Better slogan. Now they hate the Pope. But I don't. They really hate on the Vatican. You ever seen the thing where they think it has like lizard eyes? These people are fucking crazy, man.
You told us that Trump was invincible and Hillary was in a prison, right? So I'm saying, Trump was going to be there in 12 days then?
I'm answering your question, interrupting. So here's the thing. Because the Washington, D.C. is built on ley lines, right? It's built on the electromagnetic ley lines of the earth. When we ended up going to D.C., when we were shouting USA, when we're shouting freedom, when we're shouting 4 more years, we are literally affecting the quantum realm because...
We're like pygmies dancing around a fire or Navajo doing a ghost dance. It's going to make the white man go away?
Because sound supersedes electromagnetic activity, okay? Now, by marching into the Capitol, by affecting the quantum
Can't be
realm
real
in
life.
that way. We actually took back the Capitol building for God. I said a prayer inside the Senate. I sang my shamanic song inside the Senate, and I broke up all that negative.
Okay, so you're like okay. Well, give us your shamanic song right now on the air.
Or do you want to talk? Because I'll just let you talk. If
No. You're telling.
Qshaman's getting salty.
Occam's razor is a shamanic.
Then do me a favor and let me finish my point.
I'm going to let you finish, but Matt Bracken's here as well. We're now learning the secret of Q power. He is a Q priest. It is a religion. Everything's fine, Matt Bracken.
I don't know about all that. Listen, dude, shamanism is the oldest religion in the world. They use singing, drumming, dancing, and they use elaborate, like, dress, you know, the headdress, the face paint.
And you
stuff
saw
like
how
that.
it ended up for everybody.
Evil spirits to change the quantum realm through sound, through electromagnetic activity, and through.
Okay, Owen Schroyer has a question for you, and he's coming up after I leave. If you want to talk to him, hold on.
Body.
I understand magical powers.
No, it's not about magic, dude. We're talking about physics here, Alex. We're talking about physics. Okay, this is physics.
Let Matt Bracken talk
quantum
here.
Entanglement.
You are a shamanic wizard. We get that. I'm asking you with your wizard powers why you were able to know that Q was the answer. Tell me.
Okay, Q is the highest levels of the military and the
Fucking
intelligence
Gandalf
community,
here.
disseminating above top secret information to patriots in our republic. This is full disclosure, so we can take back our country from the communists and the globalists who are attempting to.
Why does Trump leave Julian Assange in prison?
So they can bring it down.
Why does he leave Julian Assange in prison when he's the real Q-type person?
You keep interrupting me, Alex. I love you, dude. I love you, but you gotta let me talk.
Highest level military intelligence. Tell me more about it.
Or are you waiting for your turn to speak, sir? Are you listening? Or are you
tell me about the highest level military intelligence.
Okay, so Q is military intelligence disseminating above top secret information to patriots in our republic so we can take back our
Alex
country
is not
from
based,
communists
but
and
this is
globalists
funny.
who have infiltrated our government at some of the highest levels so that they could bring America down from within. This is infiltration instead of invasion. They're doing this so they can create
there's
a new
no way I
world
can
order,
add
one world
anything to
government where
this.
America's wiped off the map and they try to get rid of our constitution based on
I know about the New World Order. Q tells us, the almighty Q Lord, and you are his priest, tells us everything's fine. So does the...
I'm not saying everything's fine. You're interrupting me.
Put him on pause. I can't handle this guy. I don't know if he's for real or whether he is higher than a kite, Matt Bracken, but this is crazy talk. And this is what I'm talking about. So you got a bunch of Antifa leading Q-tards into the Capitol, and they believe it's a fabulous victory for them.
Yeah, this is
so Alex
this
still
is
thinks
kind
it's
of reminding
Antifa.
me of the Lakota Sioux in 1891.
This guy is like everybody's dad over here with this flannel. Alex is actually kind of funny when he wants to be, man. So you got dancing in the Capitol. Tell me about your magic, wizard. Like, he's actually pretty funny when he wants to be. But I mean, honestly, that's pretty much verbatim what Q people believe. Usually they just don't lay it all out like that. But I mean, he didn't really skip a beat. But you know, Alex is interrupting him, of course, so he can't get like his full juju out.
They thought that if they wore the magic, if they wore the man and the white man would
boring, sir.
I'm old enough to have seen these hoaxes that were believed for a long time. I remember in the 70s, a guy named Carlos
just have this B-roll?
Wrote these books called The Tales of Don Juan, where he swore it was
Does
true.
Alex just have this B-roll ready, waiting to go?
Peyote and taught him how to fly. I don't mean just like a trip, but I mean to literally fly. And people believed it, and there were followers.
Exactly. He should have known Alex was not going to let him finish ever.
It turned out he made it all up. It was all BS. There was the Howard Hughes, Clifford Irving diary. That was accepted.
Telling us this. This is what we've now reached.
And he's got the pipeline to the highest levels of military.
If we can have the guy back, we'll let him talk because it's very entertaining. It's just that
I will agree with you there.
Like, I tell this guy, like, hey, I'm dialed into all that stuff, okay? And they don't know.
I love how Alex's answer to all this crazy isn't just it's crazy. It's like, listen, no, bro, you don't know because I know about all the secret government ops and military intelligence and who's really eating the babies. Not that, you know, he's just batshit. Like, Alex would honestly just completely play along with this shit if he thought he could profit off of it. If he could sell another cream or fucking gel or whatever it is he does.
Know what's going on. Nobody does. He's just like, highest level military intelligence. Highest level military intelligence. I mean, they don't even, it doesn't even, like I tell people like real stuff, like this is going to happen. Oh, Trump next week will have a thing on the ellipse. What? No, was it out for 5 days? It's all real. Who cares if you talk to Trump? We talk to the highest levels of military intelligence. You know, and so it's just so frustrating to sit there and watch our people wake up, but then believe the charlatan garbage. All right, I'm gonna relax.
Well, now we know how you. Now you know how we feel listening to you, Alex.
Soros, the New World Order. Preparewithalex.com.
Oh God, no.
I'm preparewithalex.com. And
God damn, you're still grifting.
A lot of stuff I got to deal with. I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate your support, folks. I don't feel sorry for myself. I know I'm.
He's still grifting.
I talk to everybody, General Flynn, you name it. And they're asking me what do they think's going on? There's no magic group unless you're Xi Jinping. He says kill 1 million people. They do it.
Yeah, Alex wants to corner the market. That's all.
Is they've got that power, but it destroys civilization.
But it's funny though.
It doesn't exist here. It's our greatest weakness, our greatest strength. So,
because I mean, who better to destroy a crazy QAnon person than Alex Jones, who, you know, he's tapped into all the crazy, so he can debunk it too. He actually, I did a video on Isaac Cappy, and Isaac Cappy went on Alex's show, and Alex destroyed him. I put the interviews in the video. Alex goes after him because obviously what he said was ridiculous, you know.
Is it Jake the Barbarian? Well, Owen Schroyer has a question, then we'll give you the floor to speak. Owen, you have a question.
Well, no, I just want to address, you obviously said you're not Antifa. I don't think you're Antifa. The other thing people want to know about you is, are you an actor? They found a profile that says you went to an acting school, so they think you're acting, and this whole thing is just an act. So would you like to address that?
Absolutely. Okay, so the whole reason why I have an acting profile is because I worked with children for 5.5 years in group homes, traumatized children.
Well, that's fucking scary.
I got chased out of the home with a knife by one of the kids that pulled it out of a locked cabinet, and I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more fun. So I went into business for myself. I developed my own website, my own YouTube. I started writing books, and I thought about, well, maybe I'll give acting a shot to earn a little bit of money on the side. I haven't made any money as an actor. I never got any work.
Okay, you're not an actor. We got that. We believe you. They say I say I'm an actor because I've been in a few movies. It's total bull. Okay,
well,
so...
By the way, I absolutely loved Waking Life, by the way. Your plug in Waking Life was absolutely accurate and awesome.
Well, thank you. So listen, you're a Q wizard. Okay, I'm asking you, does Trump end in 12 days?
Does Trump what?
What happens to Trump? Q knows everything. You know military intelligence. What happens to Trump?
Well, you know what, man? All I can say is I think that Donald Trump is a part of a much larger plan, whether that be a military plan, whether that be God's plan. I think that when you look at harmonics, when you look into the way that energy, frequency, and vibration basically create and move all physical form, all matter, then we are all playing a part in a much larger, grander scheme, a much larger...
No, I'm not saying there's not harmonics and greater schemes and a pebble in the pond stuff. I know all.
That's typical Q when you ask him a question. Hey, what's about to happen in the next week? We're all fucking molecules, man.
All that. But I'm saying, hold on, I'll let you talk, but I gotta say this. But Q told us Trump was invincible.
Yeah, make sure you guys are taking notes.
No, so I'm saying it isn't, now the larger Q leads us once Trump's gone still, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying, and you see, this is you putting words in my mouth again, Alex. What I'm saying is that Donald Trump is a part of a much larger plan to help us take back our country from globalists and communists.
He is the baby toe of military intelligence. All right.
Donald Trump has played a very pivotal role in exposing the globalists and the cabal, exposing the Chinese and the communists, and the way that they've infiltrated our government, the way they've infiltrated our media, the way they've infiltrated our entertainment, the way they've infiltrated our economics.
We broke all that. We know that. I'm saying Q tells us stuff in all of its lies, is what I'm saying.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. Because you're full of shit. That's why.
See Troyer over there.
Goddamn thing out of you people's mouths doesn't come true. And it's always, oh, there's energy, and oh, now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. You said it was all over. They were all going to Gitmo. Now, oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are now, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks and pumpkin popsums and everything. Oh, God. Sorry. Bye-bye, Q. I can't talk to you anymore. Jesus Christ. Lord help me. Oh.
I like the Qshaman.
Qshaman.
I want to believe. But they'll never, when they're wrong, say they're wrong. Oh, no, Trump's a small part of the larger Q universe.
That is true, and that's why it'll never go away. You know, they have all these weird sayings like, oh, future proves past. Like, they'll have a Q drop. You know, nowadays, well, first of all, now we don't even get Q drops. But even when we first got Q drops, they were very, like, direct messages. Like, the very first Q drop was, Hillary Clinton will be arrested, yada, yada, yada. And that only lasted for about, like, the first 200. The first 200 drops had, like, more direct messages. And then after that, it became very vague, kind of, you know, wordy, cryptic bullshit. You know, watch the water, shit like that. So, I mean, you can, you know, and you have people that will scan through these Q drops for hours and hours a day, trying to attach them to things going on in the media. You know what I mean? Like, if tomorrow somebody that works in the government was to get in a helicopter crash and, you know, and it happened over the water, they would somehow try to tie, oh, Q said watch the water. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit they do now. So they've made such an elaborate map of horse shit with so many little sayings and slogans that they can never be wrong. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're already talking about how the plan actually involves 2 years of the Biden administration and that Trump has to be out of office for 2 years to make things actually work in his favor. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to end. It never has to end. As long as there's people willing to be grifted and then there's people willing to grift, it'll be around forever and ever. I think that's pretty much it on the Qshaman there. But you know what I mean? And it's just like even Alex at some points he has to push back. He has to, like, you know, he's had to come out and admit he was wrong a few times and apologize, mostly only because he was getting sued, but he does have, like, limits to it. His crazy. With QAnon, it's always just on to the next thing because, you know, future proves past, or watch the water or something, or watch the future water prove the past. Enjoy the show. 17 other things that don't make any fucking sense. Yeah, JFK Jr. It just stuff like that. And, like, well, it's funny because the JFK Jr. thing, it caused a rift. Like half of them do believe that JFK is still alive, and half of them don't. And, like, the ones think they're better than the others. Like, huh, you're not real Q. You don't even believe JFK Jr.'s alive. Or, you know, vice versa for the other way around. Like, huh, you're not real military intelligence. You still think JFK Jr.'s alive. You're over here playing fantasy games. It's like, dude, all you people are fucking nuts. You know, but, like, I shared a story today on my TikTok. There was a lady who was a teacher for, she was a school therapist for 5 years or whatever. And she stormed the Capitol. And the next day, she resigned from her school therapy job, saying she was going to go fight the deep state cabal, you know, and save the world from pedophiles. You know, so it's not just, like, uneducated cretins that fall for this stuff. There's doctors, lawyers, military. Yeah, I'm more Q than you, basically, yeah. Military people, you know. So, who knows? I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting couple days. That's for sure. What else is going on here? Did you guys see this video? This video was weird. Like, this is during the storming of the Capitol, but watch this lady that comes in. I think it's like, yeah, it was right there.
Okay. Hey guys, I've been in the other room. Listen to me. In the other room.
Now this lady shouts out a bunch of stuff that I just no normal person should know. But, like, she's got a big jacket on. sunglasses. I mean, it doesn't look like it's very dark outside. Or, I mean, very light outside. It looks very, like, overcasty. Hat. Like, she's clearly, like, trying to, like, I don't know if she is or she just was. Like, that's pure speculation. But you can't really tell who she is. She comes out of fucking nowhere with this loudspeaker.
On the other side of this door, right here where these feet are standing, there is a glass that if it's broken, you can drop down into a room underneath it. There's also two doors in the other room. One in the rear and one to the right when you go in. So people should probably coordinate together if you're going to take this building. Right, we got another window to break to make it in and out easy. And this window here in the whole room needs to be broken.
Like, those are, like, detailed instructions, right? And she's like, hey, work together if you're gonna take this building. Because you know that was the plan, right? They wanted to take the building. They thought that Trump was gonna come out. They wanted to arrest all the Democrats, take the building, and the rhinos. Don't forget about the rhinos. Arrest the Democrats, take the rhinos into custody. Trump was gonna come out. The plan was gonna start in motion, and they were gonna take back the country for the patriots. And yes, they actually believed every single word of that. And at this point, honestly, I'm not sure how much of a grift, or if they actually believe it, that Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, is QAnon a grift for them? Did they just use it to get elected? Or do they actually believe that shit? Because every single day, they seem like more and more of nutcases.
Yeah, what's here? If they walk us a window here, line the fuck out. I'm going back over there. Where's my press? Story extension. Remember I told you?
What's he saying? Tell me what you're doing. Just give me some narrative.
Look for yourself. People. God damn it.
But the gallows, though, that's just like the gallows. I mean, that's just kind of like symbolic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they plan to use that or not, but I think there was definitely a group that got in there that planned, to do a mass hostage takeover. And I think they got pretty damn close. I mean, AOC seemed pretty shook up when she was talking about, near-death experience. I don't know, because she didn't really go into details. She didn't really say what happened. But, I mean, we know. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys were on my other stream, but we watched that one black officer. If he had not turned that group of protesters down that one hallway to chase him, the Senate chamber was wide open with all our senators in it. I mean, we could literally have a mass standoff going on in the Senate right now. They could have Bernie could be on the floor being like, you guys don't want to do this. Or something. Who knows? It would have been fucking crazy. I know that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This other guy found some videos from Parler. Matt Bender, he's on the Majority Report. I hadn't seen this video before. Like, this is weird because it almost seemed like those things were up, right? In the beginning of the video. Like, it seems like they're up, or they're down, and then they got pulled up. Like, did they just pull them up, or did one of these cops, like, let them up? Like, you can't really tell. Like, I think it looks more like they pulled them up, maybe, but I don't know if that seems right. Like, I don't know, maybe they weren't down all the way. I mean, you can't really see in the video. But I don't even know where this is. Yeah, apparently the FBI is looking into 15 different cops about being inside. I mean, I've seen interviews with police officers that were there on duty saying that they said that other cops were definitely there, and several other cops from, you know, other police forces have been identified, but they said that several cops that were there treated these protesters much differently than they treated the BLM protesters. So we at least know that. And I mean, QAnon has a huge cop content. You know, there's a ton of cops that are involved with Q. Congressman helped coordinate, rooted them on while it was happening. I mean, you know, at least we know that Mo Brooks and Paul Gosar, they at least helped fund the rally or whatever, the Stop the Steal rally that guy was putting together. You know, it's hard. I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to prove like actual congressmen were involved. But I mean, will they get staffers possibly? And that might tie the staffers might rat out the Congress people. I think it's possible. Definitely cops. I mean, there's no way that they don't wrap up a couple of cops in this. Well, only 15 so far. I mean, I don't think the FBI is laying all their cards on the table. That's just what I saw today, that they're looking into between 10 and 15 cops for helping in the riots. But that, you know, it's just one report that came out. We're going to be finding out about this thing for months and months. Years, probably. Who knows? Yeah, Lauren Boebert was live tweeting the Nancy's location, which is super weird. Like, I don't know if we can actually prove she had anything to do with it, you know, that's going to be harder. But I mean, it just really doesn't make any sense. Why in the fuck? And you're supposed to be like Miss 2A tactical, like know how to survive, and you're live tweeting the speaker's location. It just makes no sense. I mean, there's literally no reason you would do that. I can't think of one anyway. Yeah, there was a little bit of everything. That's kind of the take I'm with, Jack. That there was a little bit of everything going on here. There was definitely some organized people, and I think a lot of like, because like the Proud Boy militia types are way more organized than the QAnon people. But I think there's more of the QAnon people, so I think they use them a little bit to kind of help break through the lines. Like, see, I had never seen this video. I don't know where this was going on. But this video was on Twitter. Or on Parlay. Like, they're literally spraying the cops with mace. Like, he's taking his fucking shield. And you know what the fucking craziest thing that I've read out of all this? Like, I've read so many stories and accounts from so many people, but I think like by like 2:05 or something, they had stormed the Capitol. At 2:26, Stephen Sun, the Capitol Police Chief, and several DC officials, like generals and stuff like that, at 2:26, they had a phone call, and Stephen Sun, on a phone conference call with like several other people, asked for backup from the National Guard, and the guy in charge said he didn't want to okay that because he didn't like the idea of the National Guard standing standing in a police line on the Capitol. That was at 2:26. That was after they had already breached the Capitol. Like, shit was already going awry. Ashley Babbitt died at like 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? So shit was already crazy. And they're inside the Capitol, and they're still worried about, oh, well, you know, bad optics. Like, what? I mean, I just don't understand how that happens. Yeah, so much crazy. Again. But anyway, yeah. So that's damn. But yeah, that's it. Hey, so to all my the peoples that come to my stream, would you prefer that I streamed earlier or later? Like, I've kind of been going like a 6-7 o'clock-ish thing. But I noticed that a lot of people kind of stream earlier in the day. I don't know. Like, I know there's a lot of shit on TV and stuff at night. I don't know. Like, y'all that come to my streams a lot, like, would you prefer more like earlier? Like, I don't know, I'm trying to find like a good time frame. Curious what y'all think on that. But yeah, I think we're gonna find out a lot about these Capitol riots in the next coming couple weeks. And I mean, we've had, we had the weird ass, the Ayanna Pressley panic button situation is fucking crazy. Like, how do your panic buttons just get disabled? Some Trump people are trying to call that a false flag, by the way. Like, oh, this proves it was a false flag. Like, what? That is definitely not what that proves. Or crushed to death this summer, or attacked themselves. As they tried to. Oh, it's not even. Yeah, it's not even comparable. Like, I don't know if you saw my video. Or, I already took it down. But there was it's funny it came out today, but literally today, a Princeton study came out that showed that the cops used 3 times as much force on left-wing protests as they did on right-wing protests. And it actually got even, they used even more force against peaceful protests than they did against peaceful right-wing protests. Basically 4-to-1. They used 4 times as much force on left-wing peaceful protests as they did on right-wing peaceful protests. The video's up on my TikTok, and I put the article in the comments if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, no, you can't even compare the two. Like, it's not comparable. Had BLM breached the Capitol like that, we would have had mass casualties. Fuck arrest. We'd have several hundred people dead, probably. I mean, I can't see anything less than firing squads. For the most, I mean, it wouldn't have been fucking good. Let's put it that way. And they would, and the right would have fucking played them videos for the rest of fucking eternity. I mean, too, which if that had happened to an extent, I mean, obviously it's a terrible situation, but literally, they've already moved on. Like, they've already moved on from this. They are totally past, the whole insurrection, storming the Capitol. They've already moved on to apparently impeachment of Biden and Parler being, in big tech censorship. Like, that's what they're worried about. Fuck that Jeff Bezos is basically going to own the world in 10 years. That's what we need to be worried about. But, they're worried about they can't say Nazi shit on Parler. I don't know. Just seems like their shit's all out of whack. 7 is good, but I'm in Central Time. I'm in Central Time, too. Later on my end. Yeah. Yeah, see, I prefer later, too. It seems like most everyone was later. Alright, I'll keep it around the same time, then. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yes, and then you had that other lady. I'm gonna look into I'm gonna go over a couple more things once I get off stream here. I might go back into the inside job angle because I'm very curious on that. You had the other lady, the congresswoman, saying that she was gonna hold the people in Congress accountable that had something to do with this. She didn't really say too much outside of that, but clearly she thinks something's up. And the Jim Clyburn thing, you know, that was really weird how they knew where his office was. I mean, it's just the whole thing stinks, man. Yeah, they want us to forget all about it. Oh yeah, most definitely. They've already moved on. Like they call for the same people that went back right after the protests, or I'm sorry, right after the terrorists went in there and rioted. They went back on the floor of the Senate and still voted for this crazy bullshit lie. You had Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz. They still voted the exact same way, even though they knew it was all bullshit, just a game. They had no intention of anything actually happening. They knew no committees or anything was going to happen. After all that crap happened, they still went back in and voted for that stuff. And then 3 days later, they're like, "Oh, we can't impeach the president. We got to come together as a country." It's like, dude, no, fuck you. You don't get to get away with shit because now it looks bad on you. Your horrible plan backfired, thank God. You know, I'm glad that Holly actually saw some repercussions. And then he goes on the #1 cable news show and talks about how he's being censored because he doesn't have a fucking book deal. I mean, personally, I'm guessing no one on this stream has a fucking book deal. I don't feel like any of us are censored. So, you know, it's just bad shit. How they think about the world, I don't know. It's all horse shit. It's just a grift. Just a grift. Did you go over Sammy Davis Jr., Randy? Rating out the congressman that coordinated the Stop the Stealing March? Sammy Davis Jr.? Isn't Sammy Davis Jr. dead? They think we're going to be saved from confusion when this charge. Yeah, no, that's about. AOC suspects her colleague. AOC suspects her colleagues. They had maps. Yeah, no, I think AOC knows something's up. I think a lot of them do. I mean, I think they know. I mean, obviously, you know, they're not going to say the whole story, but I think they're slowly leaking a little information here, little information there, probably leaking a little bit to certain reporters. You know, I mean, Jim Clyburn has come right out and said it, and there's going to be investigations. And you know, thankfully we won the House in the dude that looks like Sammy Jr. Oh, no, I haven't. I don't think I do. He works for InfoWars. Are you talking to what's that guy's name? I know who you're talking about now. I'll think of it. Yeah, I didn't see that though. No, I know who you're talking about. Honestly, at this point, what's the 19th, 20th look like? Honestly, at this point, I don't think much will happen. At this point, they're gonna be so locked and loaded. And honestly, I don't know if a lot of Q people are even gonna show up. I think they have some kind of alternate plan. They think like the media is driving it. Like they always want to go, you know what I mean? They always want to, like when you look left, they want to look right. They always want to juke you and do something different. I mean, who knows? It's still a few days from now. So, but I know there's going to be like 20,000 National Guard out there during the inauguration. And I'm pretty sure they closed the National Mall. So, I mean, I don't think much is going to happen. Especially not like it happened the other day. I mean, but who knows? I think something could happen to like a state level. Like at the, you know, up here in Minnesota, you know, somewhere here at the State House in Minnesota or something. Who knows? He went on a webcast like Facebook Live, and he said 3 congressmen coordinated with him. Yeah, Ali something. I know you're talking about. Yeah, Paul Gosar. He said that him, Paul Gosar, Mo Brooks, and what's his fuck? Yeah, he said that they coordinated. I talked about that a little bit on my stream the other night. Yeah, and he was at the Stop the Steal rally with Alex, and he said they coordinated with them, but they said they denied a lot of the shit. But we're gonna find out more about that. I think a lot of these guys, I think some of the congressmen might have went like full on into it. Like they might have went all the way in with actual plans and stuff. But I think a few of them just tried to, dip their toe in the conspiracy pool because they knew that would get them, get them votes, get them support, and then they weren't ready for what was about to go down, and they just didn't really. I don't really think they thought it was going to go that far. So I think some, put their brand and their name behind it, but weren't really involved. But we shall see, because we control the House, or the Dems. The Dems control the House, the presidency, and the Senate, so investigations will be coming. That's for sure. But anyway, yeah, if you guys could like the stream, I'd really, really appreciate it. If you like my lives, follow me on Twitch. That would be awesome. If you want to support me, you can support me on Patreon, or you can subscribe on Twitch. Then you get some sweet-ass emojis. And yeah, if you want to join the Discord, you can put videos in there that I might react to on stream. I haven't really gotten too many submissions yet, but yeah, all that stuff will be linked in the description, as always. And yeah, I'll probably upload some clips tomorrow from the stream. So I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out, and thanks a lot. Have a good night, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, now that my tooth isn't aching like a son of a bitch. But yeah, peace. Have a good night.